All right, we are live.
Yo!
Subscribers, those listening for the very first time, welcome to the Level 857 video game podcast where we discuss game topics, events, and releases.
Hit my tooth.
If you're seeing us for the first time, we're going to be your host.
Yo, what just happened? What just
That was very.
We're going to be your host.
Halloween possessed, right?
Turbo 857. Yes, possessed by a ghost.
Jason, a.k.a. Stikz.
Alvin.
Alvin.
Alvin. Let me start now. Al, a.k.a. Alg 857.
Eric, a.k.a. the 23rd Stallion.
All right. And there you have it for our introductions. Jay, what's the topic?
I don't know, but you're too loud.
Yeah. Why
Yeah,
you
right?
all up yelling.
I'm
excited?
sorry, everybody.
So before we peek
calm
through the
down.
whole rest of this, you can move the mic back a little
We're
bit.
very loud
What?
All right.
No, that's just you, dude.
and very live.
Does anyone have any news for the week?
Let's see.
Yes, I do. I beat Grand Theft
Oh,
Auto
yeah.
5 finally.
I
That
beat
is nice.
Uncharted Lost Legacy.
There you go.
Very
All
good
right,
game.
Okay.
That's
So the
actually
news
very
is,
good game.
I should rephrase that as, what are you guys playing? Which is fine.
Actually, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So I just started. I only played about 40 minutes of my favorite game in the world.
Tetris 5.
Yes. Let me start now.
Tetris 5, yeah.
No, Shadow of War. Sorry.
Oh, you started that.
Oh.
Yes.
You started
Holy shit, man.
You like it?
Awesome.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
It's only 40 minutes. I
It'd be-
really didn't do much because I
Ooh.
was tired as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It would really be great if you streamed that. So-
Nah, you guys don't want to see that. You guys don't want to see that.
I will be starting Evil Within 2 in 2 days.
You wouldn't do it.
2
Yeah.
days.
Alright.
Wait, that's 4. 2 days. There we go.
I haven't decided when I'm starting after Resident Evil 7, but I'll be beating that soon.
That needs to end.
And there'll be a surprise game after. I promise you that.
A surprise.
Surprise game.
Nah, that's going to be a surprise game.
You just said you don't know what you're playing, and now it's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
surprise.
that's why it's a surprise. It's a surprise to myself because I haven't
Oh
even
my
thought of it
God.
yet.
That's
It's
the
gonna be-
worst hype up ever.
I have a couple
It's
of
gonna
candidates,
be,
but
it's going to be Bust the Groove. Spoiled.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a spoiled surprise.
oh, man, it's crazy.
Bust the groove.
Oh, man. But
I don't know what I'm playing right now, so hence me not streaming at the moment.
yeah, it's okay. Eric.
I'm holding it down.
But I will most definitely be streaming Cuphead pretty soon.
Yeah.
Word?
And one of us is going to get in on that with him
Word?
for some 2-player co-op.
Maybe.
That wouldn't be me.
Mm.
Fuck
Damn.
2 players,
Yo,
man.
the sips
No,
are
2
so
players.
loud on the beer, dude.
2 players. 2 players.
No courtesy at all. You got no microphone courtesy at all.
No, it
you
really doesn't.
you just go.
You guys like listening to us?
You don't even tilt your head away from the mic when you
No,
take
The
a sip. You
beers
just
are
go right in.
very- The beers are very, very,
Jesus.
you
I
know.
hope you guys out there
It's
like
flowing.
listening to that.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, you
Yeah,
guys
The
playing?"
mics,
And this is live, so it's not like you can edit this shit out. It's like,
we got
oh.
new mics. It's very sensitive. You can
Oh,
probably
yeah.
hear what I'm thinking.
No one
What?
else. You
Me,
don't hear
me
it.
and Jay just took a sip. You didn't hear
You
neither
don't
one of
hear-
us.
Yeah.
You're
I took like
Here it
30
goes.
sips.
say,
There.
Oh man, that's great. All right, so on with today's topic
Yeah.
at hand. So the topic is: do you think game journalists should know how to play games in order to review them?
What about beating a game?
I prefer reviewers not to suck.
Yeah.
At the very least, they shouldn't suck at games in general.
So
Well,
they should have-
if they suck at games, at the very least, beat the fucking game that you're reviewing.
Yes. Yes.
At the
you
very
should beat it.
least,
You should-
if you suck at games.
I think that guys, reviewers who aren't good at games should only be able to review certain games.
Mm.
Like if Cuphead comes out, right, which it is, and someone reviews it, and you suck at games, you shouldn't be reviewing that game. You can't appreciate a tough old school game like that because you
No.
suck.
Well,
You know?
I assumed that a reviewer had to beat the game. As growing up in the gaming industry, being a game fan, and reading
That
through
used
the
to be a
magazine
magazine.
stuff. Yeah,
Game-
I know. It
you
did
like
used to be.
that?
Die Hard
Great
game
magazine too.
Wow.
Die-hard game fan. Yes, I know. But but seeing the reviews, I always assumed that the reviewer had to complete the game in order to talk about it.
Yeah.
And nowadays I'm seeing, oh, I made it through a quarter of the game. I made it through 75% of the game, and here's what I think of it.
Right.
And it's crazy that you can even get, like, you didn't see the game. How are you going to talk about it before you didn't
Right.
see it?
Yeah,
Like,
you
like
can't
if I
do
walk
that.
out of a movie, I can't tell you it was a good or bad movie. The
Right.
ending sucked. I
Right.
don't know. I left before it was over. Like,
Right.
what's the feeling you get out of that? If
Yeah.
it's so bad you can't finish it, then fine, give it a
Right.
0, whatever. But don't give it a 8, a 9, a 7, whatever, and say I almost made it through. What kind of
That's
what
like
is that?
when I was hating on Grand Theft Auto 5, like maybe, I don't know, 20% of the way, and they were making me do these stupid jobs. I'm like, I'm just about done with this fucking game. I was like, but I hear it's awesome, so I'm going to stick with it for a bit and see what happens. And I ended up really enjoying it. It was a really good game. So I can't. That's like me reviewing it. Oh, it gets a 4. So they just put you in these carts and lift up these things, and it's dumb. You know, it's like no. Play the whole game.
To agree with you on that, I almost stopped playing Lost Legacy Uncharted because it didn't. I just couldn't connect with the characters. I was like, this isn't really. But then it
picks up.
There's a payoff
towards the end of the game. It really. I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome.
Do you still have to introduce things, especially if it's like a story-based? What the hell? Well, thank you for the follow.
That was
I
nice.
swiped away the name before I got to see it.
All right.
But thanks for the follow.
But at the same token, though,
cool.
like I know I like. There's games that I suck at, right? But I really enjoy playing. And
it's like all of them.
no, it's not, you motherfucker. I killed you in Tetris. You remember that?
I suck at Tetris.
No,
you all saw
no,
that.
Jay is the champ.
We got the
Jay is the champ.
that was a fluke.
He is
that was
the
a fluke.
champ.
He
That's
is
a
the
fluke.
title holder right now. Jay
That
is.
was a fluke. That's a fluke.
I do recall me being the title holder.
Accidents happen. All right, accidents do happen.
Accidents.
So
Yes.
what we're going to talk about is Dean Takahashi. He's a game journalist, and he recently, well, I mean, it was a while ago now, but thanks to this 2-week hiatus on our show that we had to do every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But he did a playthrough of the tutorial, or basically a playthrough of Cuphead, and his playthrough on the tutorial part of the thing was abysmal.
Oh God, really?
Abysmal.
Really?
So we got it queued up on YouTube for you viewers who are watching right now, and we're gonna go over what exactly happened and how
I would like to see
bad
this. I didn't see this.
this actually is.
Oh my God.
Go check it out.
All right, so we got this going on here.
All right, let's
So
see.
here we go. And this guy has been reviewing games for over 20 years.
20 years?
Over 20 years. So
Wow.
you think he'd see something like this during the time? So
this can't be
look at how amazing his gameplay is.
real. Dude, I can't even.
Oh my God.
Jump on the fucking platform!
So
Can you not
apparently
figure this out?
he can write but can't read apparently
This is crazy.
Yo,
because it obviously says it right there.
Jump and fucking dash!
this is like looking at
Oh my God.
Wow.
you know how like the kids in preschool they have the square peg,
Yeah.
you know, and you
It's
see
exactly
the-
what it is. He can't put.
and
he
he's still
can't put
trying.
the circle
He's
into
still
the square.
trying.
Yo, I thought
Dash. It says quick dash on ground or air.
I thought my Uncharted 3 streams were kind of like, you know,
They are pretty bad.
No, he's trolling
but they're
us.
entertaining though.
He's
Same
trolling
again.
us right now. He's trolling us.
You would assume so.
He's doing this shit. He's drunk. He's drunk,
No,
right?
you
He's
can't
drunk.
possibly be this dumb, though. No,
He had something to drink. No, he had something to drink, right? He was under the influence.
No,
not at all.
According to him, he wasn't.
According to him, was.
There we go,
Oh,
there we go,
he
here we
figured
go.
it out.
Yo, you can dash in midair now.
Oh, that's how you could do it.
He's getting it. Hold on, he's learning.
He's almost getting it.
He's learning.
He's figuring it out.
Ah,
No,
he
he's
should be-
fucking with
he has,
everybody, right?
No, that has to be
No.
fake.
this is
You can't be.
serious
You,
play.
you can't be this stupid.
So he has really bad hand-eye coordination.
How do you get this job if this is real?
Yeah.
Oh, he made it.
Yes.
He made it.
So you can let that go while we talk about it if you like, but
All right,
it's
I'm gonna mute this
it's
shit.
bad. Yeah, you can mute it and let it play if
That
you want.
music, though.
Because it just gets worse. Like he doesn't get better at the game. He just stinks and dies on every possible thing.
That's horrible.
So, oh man, what's he gonna do here? I didn't even get to this part. Ah,
Oh, this.
he's just gonna cheat because you're not supposed to do all three at the same time.
Huh?
Everyone nullified
You can
everybody.
do all three at the same time.
Oh, you're supposed to jump, 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 jump.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna pull it off. He's just gonna.
Oh, you have to bounce on each one
Yeah, you have
that
to-
would be good.
in one jump, right?
Yeah.
that would be cool if he did.
You have to
it.
time it.
But what's he parrying though? Like, what is that representing? Those little dots.
Pink.
Just
Yeah.
when you see something pink on the screen.
Pink.
Okay, all you gotta do is read.
Oh, yeah.
All you gotta do is read like
See,
the
look,
guy.
read what it says right there.
Don't do like
Pink
him.
objects. Okay.
Yeah.
do like
Pink
him.
Oh, that's
objects you
awesome.
parry.
That's kind of awesome.
So that's how you can revive your character. Oops, sorry
So-
about that.
So yeah, he's getting through it. If I was him, I would have said to everyone, as he posted this, by the way, he put it out there like this. So he couldn't play it over and record it again and get a better anything. Like he just put it out like that. So if I was him, I would have been told everybody, I was drunk. I was just fucking around. This is me fucking around with the game. I didn't even know who I was at the time.
That tutorial was like 20 minutes.
And I'm going to put it up there just like that.
that was
Like, that's what I would have told people to shut them up. But he put it out there like that. And then he gets mad because everybody's getting angry at him.
Oh, wait, they have him on stages?
For what? Yeah.
This is like a 20, 25 minute
He's going to
video.
He's going to play through the regular stage. He doesn't get past the stage at all.
Yeah.
Oh, of course not.
So,
But that's the thing, though. I mean, don't get mad at everybody.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to reviews, like, they have to have the right person review. If it's let's say a strategy role player.
Well, he said in his defense, he said that this is not his type of game.
See, then he shouldn't be reviewing it.
So, yeah.
That's like
No,
me.
he's not. He didn't say he was reviewing this one. He was at Gamescom and he played this there.
Oh, he just
And he was just
okay.
testing it.
all right, so
that's
context
fine.
is important.
As long as it's
Context
not-
is
But,
important.
Yeah, as
but
long as he's not-
understandably, 20 years in the game industry writing, that means he got to be playing beforehand. He hasn't played a platform game at all, anything that's resembling Mega Man at all.
Listen, I suck at first-person games, but I won't be abysmal.
No,
I won't. I
look
won't
at
be,
this.
I can't. I won't be abysmal at it.
Look
I
at
like,
this.
I know what the hell's going on.
Jump over the thing.
What the
Jump
hell? What the
over.
fuck games does he play?
Yo,
What games
That's how bad that is.
nothing-
What games does he play?
Wow.
Nothing happened.
You know
And
what's
he
crazy?
died.
I don't know, man.
It reminds me of Did you ever see
Terrible.
Did you ever see what was it? The Fine Brothers. They had that the reaction thing, and
And they had people who didn't know anything about anything play it.
Well, yeah, they had the kids. The
Yeah.
kids react, or they had kids play Mario Brothers 1, the first fucking Mario Brothers game, and they were horrible. They couldn't figure out the game.
We're talking about arcade Mario Brothers, like
No. We're
No,
talking
Super
about
Mario.
Super Mario.
First
Super
Mario.
Mario.
Super Mario Brothers,
Yes,
okay.
for the NES. Like they showed them the cartridge for the first time. Like the first time they ever saw a fucking video game cartridge, like physical disc. You know,
Yeah.
you didn't have to download an app,
Right.
play the game. And they played and they were
wrong with them?
horrible. They were horrible. I was like, wow, wow. I'm like,
But this is a guy who did
What
know
the
how to
fuck?
play stuff. He's in the industry. He got paid. He gets money by playing this stuff and talking about it. Maybe he can write. Maybe he can write his
at
ass
this.
off. I
Look,
don't
it
know.
died again. Wow.
Maybe he can write his ass off. That's fine. But
Yeah.
He has to just look at shit. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't play it.
Oh, that's cool. That's
That's it.
like it's not one hit and you're dead. So
No.
No,
That doesn't matter
You
because
have
you'll
you
just
see
be
the
dead.
bottom corner there. It says
Yeah.
3 hits or 2 hits
Yeah.
now because he fucking got hit. You get 3 hits.
the art style.
And then you die.
I like the art style. It's
It's
really
smooth.
awesome.
It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful
You
old
get-
school difficult game.
Yeah, you get 3 hits, you're dead.
But
you
today's
could-
generation, you can't fuck with the game.
You collect coins and then you buy power ups, so you can get 1 more hit point, or you can get a different weapon.
Oh, that's cool. They got some upgrading possibilities
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
implemented. I like that.
yeah.
No, like someone like this, obviously. Then I'm glad he's not reviewing this because
Yeah.
He'd probably think this is the worst game in the world
Right.
Yeah.
after dying in the first 5 seconds.
Well, my thing is like, you know, you should get like any site or magazine when you should get the right person to rate. You know, if there's a person that loves sports games, they should be rating sports games.
Yes.
Is there a person who
Agreed.
loves 2D action platformer shooters? They get that guy to do it because
Right.
people interested in that game are fans of that genre. So get a fanatic that loves that stuff who'll know a sucky 2D shooter platformer when they play one.
Well, it's like if I would trust your opinion on a strategy role playing games,
Because I love them shits.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Get an
You know what I
expert
mean?
for that shit.
I suck at them, but I love playing them.
Yeah.
I'm not that great, but I love playing them. I
This
would.
guy a 5.
It's a great. I love them. They're great games. But I wouldn't I would trust your review of the
Yep.
game
Thank you.
rather than mine
Why?
because I suck at them. I just said it.
I know.
So
it's
does,
like-
so does Kev.
Damn.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I like puzzle games.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Like I would definitely review a puzzle game. Like if somebody came out with developer
Do
came
you
out with a
think-
new one, I'd be like, oh okay, this is cool.
Do
know?
you think there should be 2 different kinds of reviews? Like,
Yes.
you have one from the,
Yes.
the expert of that genre, and then you
Yes.
have like the neutral gamer.
Yes.
That's just like, all right, if you're kind of, this is not your
See-
thing, but you're just first time playing it, will you enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
This is what to look for.
Yes,
You
I
know?
agree with that. I think they should, and I think it's already happening now.
Okay.
Online. You got YouTube.
That- yeah.
YouTube is a big format where different kinds of players and people gravitate towards people that like the same type of stuff, which is like the people watching this stream right now.
Hi.
and they gravitate towards things that are similar. So if we, we all have different tastes and stuff. So people are watching, they're like, oh, I like that game too. So I'm gonna listen to his opinion because I like that game. And you know what I'm saying? Like
that sound, dude. I
But if
don't. You can stop it.
Look,
you just do it for the enjoyment.
when our listeners complain about
They
the
will.
sound
They
of
will.
me
They
they
drinking,
will,
Please
No,
let us
stop.
know if that annoys you when you.
because it annoys me.
Fucking.
If it annoys
it's
three
not
people,
me, it's the bottle. I can't.
Move away from the mic.
Jesus, man.
Move
Well,
away
see,
from the
you
mic.
get close on purpose,
I
and you
can't.
like get your
No
lips stuck
courtesy
in there.
at all.
Nope.
How
No
about
courtesy.
this?
It's not my lips at all. It's the bottle.
Yeah.
It's my
Look at
bottle.
that.
No, be
Yeah.
like the guy who moves away from the mic.
Oh, the
Chocolate rain.
Chocolate rain. Chocolate rain.
Exactly. Be like that guy.
It's like to go on your point. There was a guy who was talking about Fire Emblem Warriors, and they were like, "Okay, what do you think of the game?" And the guy was like, "All right, well, I like Dynasty Warrior games, so obviously I like this type of game." And he was like, "If you like Fire Emblem games, you will probably enjoy this type of game. If you're not either a fan of either one and you're just looking for something to get, this is still good to buy." Like he was he went through everything. He's like, it's just a fun game to pick up.
And that's why that's why I disagree with the number rating system because of that. Because there's so many different types of gamers, and there's so many different types of games. It's like that review right there gives me more information than a fucking number.
That's perfect because he reviewed it based on what he likes, but he's like, all right, if it's not your thing, this is what to expect.
Exactly.
Like if I'm reviewing Cuphead, I played 5-10 minutes of Cuphead. I love the game. I want to play the whole thing. I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you're a first-time gamer, I'm going to let you know you might want to stay away from Cuphead because you're going to break your controller.
Yeah,
It's going to be a very difficult. It looks beautiful, but it's a very difficult game.
Exactly.
Like you want to keep
that gives
everyone informed.
That gives more information than a fucking number because a number is just going to tell you, oh, it's a good game. Oh, I'm going to buy it. You're not even like you don't even know if that's your type of game.
Yeah,
but you're gonna buy because it says it's 80. It got an 80 on whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it because I gotta trust it, right?
But
Meanwhile,
not
the
if you
fucking
don't like games like that. It's
exactly.
Meanwhile, the fucking look, I'm using it as an example, but IGN, and I was telling you before.
No,
the stream.
we weren't even talking.
We were talking before the stream.
We only talk during the stream.
It's the only time they talk. They don't even hang out or nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know this guy.
guy.
No, but we were talking before, and I had mentioned that I heard that there are reviewers that actually play the game, review the game, write a whole review, send it to their editor, and their editor puts the number rating.
What?
Yeah, and it makes sense though. It makes sense, and this is why.
Why?
This is the reason why, because like IGN, I'm using them as an example. They're based on a website, right?
Yeah.
Their website is funded by advertisement. So you go to their website, they got advertisements everywhere, and who the fuck are they advertising? Games.
Right.
So they have a publisher advertising on their website. They give them a ton of money to advertise. Now they got to review their game.
You're not gonna shit
The
on
editor, exactly. You're getting them. It's like
Well, that's the problem with the industry.
That's the rub.
and that's the fucked up part. That's the fucked up part about the system.
Yeah.
This game is the greatest thing to ever come out.
Right.
So let me tell you
There's
this.
like a disconnect between the person who reviews it and the company itself.
So the guy went on, Dean Takahashi went on to talk about how everyone was coming against him. And he was talking about how the game wasn't, it should have been a different tutorial, should have had a 2-part tutorial. It was too hard. And
He was
this
serious about this.
Yeah, but this generation isn't ready for something like this. And you hear it when everybody's talking about it. They're like, oh, this is way too hard. This is the Dark Souls of this, Dark Souls of that. Everything that's hard, everything that's hard, they always put this is the Dark Souls of this. And I'm like, all right, people, that's the first hard game you ever played. They're not used to playing a game that's difficult and you have to learn to play.
Right.
Because, we play a lot of stuff. And most of the stuff that you play, you're not going to get stuck in. It's just you learning the part and getting past it. You're never going to get stuck. Like me, Ninja Gaiden, I never beat the last guy. I never beat Jakwayu, never got past him in my life. And now this is years and years. This is way after it came out. Now if you play a new game now, if you give it the time that's needed, there's no way that people are going to be like, oh, I didn't get past that part.
Well, it's
For the most part, for most games.
Yeah.
There's nothing hard like that. Now people are blaming
here's the thing,
it.
like,
Wait, let me finish.
Oh,
People are blaming it people are blaming them for making, like the creators of this game, they're blaming them for making it too hard for the regular
Come
consumers.
on.
See that now? Yeah,
So
that's
then they're mad because
that's
if you
fucked up.
buy something, you should be able to get through it. There should be
Right.
a setting in there to let you see parts of the game that you paid for.
no. That's
Because it's
Oh
art.
my
See, that's-
God.
you know
That's
what
what
that
they're
is?
talking about.
That's that PC culture shit. That's
That's
like
privilege.
everybody. You know,
It's that
that
millennial.
privilege.
It's that millennial. Oh my God.
it's that
everything's
PC culture.
hard.
Everybody has to. Everybody's a winner. Everybody has to.
Yeah.
You know, everyone gets a trophy.
Hard work
like,
is
fuck
tough.
you, man.
Hard work is tough.
Like you got to learn that you know you're gonna fail. Like and
Yes.
failing is good. Failure is actually really good.
Yes.
You know, in order to succeed, you have to fail many
it's
times.
supposed to teach you something. Play the
Shit,
game.
man.
Yep.
You
And
know?
the thing is, it's like, but there's a difference though. There's a difference between tough games
And cheap games.
and cheap games, like King of Fighters. Holy shit, holy shit, man. Those fucking, oh my god.
Tekken
Yo,
7 boss.
a
Some
Tekken
games
7
are just
boss.
cheap. Some games are just cheap.
It just like it
It's
doesn't.
just the way it is.
It's like a robot. Like just
I don't
you
feel-
can't be a robot. You
I
can't
don't
beat a
feel,
robot.
if I didn't beat it, though, I don't feel like I had to have seen it. Like I bought this. I paid with my $60. I need to see this game, and you need to show me the end because I paid for it. It's not a movie. It's a game.
Exactly.
It's a game.
You have to have
Yeah,
a skill set.
You know
to
what?
Pass it.
Yes.
If you're gonna do that, at least like for the developers anyway, that make money off of it. Like, yo, you want to see the end of the game? You want to make it mad easy? Pay me an extra $5
Yeah,
for
it's
DLC
like,
to make it
come on,
easy.
man.
Like,
You want to make it easy, and you feel obligated
Make
to
it-
see the game. Just watch it on YouTube. Then somebody
That's
beat
true.
it.
That's all
Somebody
you
beat
have.
it.
That's
Someone's gonna beat it.
Yeah.
Someone can watch it
Someone
on
beat it
YouTube.
without
Yeah.
getting hit once.
Yeah.
So if you want
Yeah,
to see how
playing
they did it
backwards with their feet on a Dance
Exactly.
Dance Revolution
while
pad.
eating a sandwich,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yep.
Yeah.
with no hands.
I compare it to Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2. Mega Man 1 was very difficult
Yep.
for Nintendo. Very difficult.
Yep.
I remember wanting to play that, and I'm like, why the fuck am I playing this? I'm getting killed.
Maybe one was
It was
fine.
a very tough. It wasn't cheap,
Yeah.
but it was tough. It was
It was
a
tough.
very tough game. Mega Man 2 was one of the best.
Pretty easy.
It was.
It was fun,
You
though.
you run through that shit.
Yeah.
you
Right.
run through it. It was. Don't get me wrong. It's so fun. I love Mega Man 2. One of my favorite Mega Man. But
Except for Quick Man stage, and then people think it's super hard because they can't pass that one stage.
But the funny thing is, a lot of people think today that's hard.
Yeah.
They'll think that's like oh my god, that's
and
tough.
that's crazy.
Like what?
Mega Man 2.5D.
You know what?
That's
Every,
a
just
fucking
hard.
tough game.
That's just
a
hard.
tough.
That doesn't
I didn't-
exist.
yeah.
That's not. That's not
It's a tough game, but it's like some of these games are made to like you have to get ill with this what they teach you,
You
like
gotta
in a
learn.
tutorial. You have to learn.
And then people beat it with their feet. I'm saying you
Yeah,
can learn it.
You can. It's not like while getting killed in Cuphead, I'm like, okay, wait, I could dash. Okay, I could do this.
If you
All
give
right.
it like an hour or a half hour, you'll pass it.
Yeah.
Like, you will
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
On
And
top
even
of
though
that-
they do change it up though.
on top of that, no,
Those
they
are-
do
they
change it
do.
up.
They
They do
do.
change up the pattern.
But I do like that though.
But you do
I
learn
like
the
that.
pattern, though.
It makes you ill though.
You do learn the different patterns. You do.
This
you
is still
will
the first
eventually-
stage.
Yes, it is.
This is the first
is,
5 minutes.
this
of the
is like-
first
yeah,
stage.
this
This
is like-
isn't even a boss.
This is like 20 minutes into the fucking. This thing is almost over.
But yeah, you
It's
can
like-
relate to this. When we played Red Sun will teach you how to fucking play the game.
yeah.
That game was tough, but it was
But you
fun.
can build. You can build your stuff up even in this.
Yeah,
You can
bullets.
build your stuff up.
Bullets
get
flying
better.
everywhere.
You know, now that I think of it, Mario, Mario, the one for the Wii U, the 3D Mario. Fuck, Mario World,
Mario 3D World.
Mario 3D World
Yes.
Yeah.
was criticized for being
Hard.
too easy.
Hard.
No, too easy. Too easy. The opposite of that.
Try
They
playing
criticize-
the
and
last
that-
stage.
and the reason-
I still haven't beaten
The
that
Mario
yet.
You know
games
why?
are always tough to me. They're always
No.
hard.
Here's why. Because they give you that. What was that? That fucking
that balloon-
Tanuki suit,
the-
the white one.
Oh, that thing.
And they give it to you after you die too many times. They give you that shit. And
But-
what can you do with that shit? You could like, you could fly and
You
shit.
go
can
through.
do-
Well, you can go through the stage with invincibility.
invincibility.
But
Right.
Oh,
you
this
don't
is
have to
making me
punch
angry.
the block that gives it to you. You don't have to punch
No,
the
but
block.
you're not getting my point. My point is that they did that shit because they wanted to make it easy for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
like- I don't like
they don't
shit
have
like
to
that.
do that.
They don't
I
have
don't
to
like
do that.
that.
But that's the biggest criticism about that game. The game
Oh,
is
that's
great.
a-
They
that's-
criticize
I love that.
because of that.
Yes.
That's considered.
that
Like,
was actually a criticism of the game is that it's a little too easy compared to all the other Marios, but that never did that shit. That you had to fucking learn how to fucking play. Cuphead doesn't do that shit. They don't give you a suit like, oh, you died too many times.
think-
Here's a suit that gives you instant. No,
Alright.
they don't even give you that
But
option.
the thing is, in all these games, they do have an option to put it on easy.
It's an optional. That's
Put
what
it
I'm
on
saying. Like,
easy if you suck
can't
so
criticize
much.
a game for an optional item. You don't have to. You don't have to hit the block to hit it. You can go
This
through the
guy-
They
stage.
did criticize it though,
this guy's catching
messed
every
because it
enemy.
wasn't even though you didn't have to
Dude, he hasn't gotten
choose
halfway.
to hit the block.
He
It
hasn't
wasn't
gotten
like a
past an
setting.
enemy.
It
Yeah.
was like it's automatically given to you.
No, it's not. It's automatically the.
No, it drops down You don't have to take it.
You don't have to take it. You
But
don't have to punch the block.
Who the fuck is gonna?
You don't have to shoot.
I
all these
never
guys.
punched the block.
I never did it either. But I'm just telling you, man.
And this is why.
That's
check
why it
this
was
out.
criticized.
They did that with Mega Man games also. They were like, oh, Mega Man 4, when Mega Man was able to power up his shot, the game became easier. Well, guess what?
You don't have to
hold
power up
down
the
the
shot.
fucking button, retard.
Of course.
Jesus, sorry.
Yeah, right.
Retard's a
Yeah,
horrible
that's a- that's
term.
a-
Kev. That's a
Sorry.
horrible term. What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
We're live
I'm
now.
sorry.
You're
If I-
offending people out there.
If I offended anybody with that term, I'm absolutely
We are
sorry.
banned.
With that term.
You can't talk anymore.
You know, I'm talking.
Kev, you're in a 5-minute timeout.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
talking.
but for these games, like in Cuphead, there's
Mm-hmm.
an option to make it easy. Remember, you were fighting the boss and you killed him in like 2 seconds. If you really hate it that much because it's too hard,
Yeah.
you could put it on easy. Stop complaining, or
I
just
have
don't
too
play
much.
the game.
I have too much pride to put it on easy.
That's what I'm
For the
saying.
most part.
I did
Because
it.
you're an old school
Until-
gamer.
I did it for
Until-
one boss.
Until Tekken. Until Tekken
Well,
7.
that's cheap. That's
Actually,
that's cheap.
Tekken 7 did have a
Well,
fucking.
when it comes to fighting games,
that wasn't
that's
hard.
different though.
That wasn't tough. That was a cheap
Fighting
boss.
games has nothing to do with skill when you play the computer.
No, Tekken
Nope.
It
Tekken
has to
7
do
was a. Fuck.
Jay, what was it? I played it on the computer one time. It was a King of Fighters, and
So
it was
all the King of
the guy,
Fighters.
the,
Yeah,
guy,
no,
the
they're
last
all
guy
the
who
same.
was in a purple type outfit. Cheapest thing I've ever played. Like I hit the button, and
Yeah.
I was dead. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
it was
yeah.
beyond
It
horrible.
wasn't as cheap as this, though, according to
Yeah, this guy's the
How
worst.
this guy's playing.
Nah, man.
This guy should be banned from
Stop
playing.
catching everyone.
He's trying to
He's
eat
trying
them.
to grab them all.
He's trying to eat them. He's
Watch.
like, is this
Every
Gunstar
enemy.
Heroes? Can
Did
you
he
throw
stop
them?
looking at the screen? I swear, I can play better than him not looking at the screen.
Now here's a question.
stinks.
Here's a question now.
pretty fucking bad.
I'm gonna
Do
send
you
him an
do you
email.
think developers should make the option, an
Oh.
easy option in every game?
According to people now, they do want it.
A lot of
Isn't it in every game?
But-
Easy?
No, it
But
is.
the point
but,
of the game
but the
is
question
to
is
get good at it.
The
Yeah.
question is, should they?
No,
That's
they
it's a
don't.
moral.
They
It's like a
shouldn't
more
have
of
to,
like a
no.
moral question.
They definitely shouldn't have to.
No, I
It's
agree
the way
with
that
you.
they
No.
want you to play the game.
They
If you
shouldn't
can't
have
be
to.
as good as
Yeah.
them
Right.
to beat it, then
Right.
you shouldn't beat it.
Ninja
Right.
Gaiden
actually-
for Xbox was a tough game.
I take
all right?
I take that back.
All of them are,
Not,
actually.
not every game has like. There's no easy mode in Grand Theft Auto.
No, there isn't.
There's no easy mode. Like open world games don't really have a.
Well, not R-rated games, like family games. Yeah, they have them in most family-rated games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, get over it. It's like, come on. It's like,
Honestly.
It's a game. A
It-
game's
If
made
If
to
you
be
can't
played
get better,
and
you
mastered.
shouldn't play it.
yeah, it's like
If you were playing like for a whole day, you can't get off the first level.
Then you probably suck
Stop
at that
playing
game
it.
and stop
Just
playing
stop
those types
playing
of
it. Yeah.
games. Find another genre.
there's tons and tons of tough games out there, but it's like it's supposed to teach you how to play the game.
There's only one hard game out there, and it's Dark Souls. And everything is a ripoff of Dark Souls if it's a hard game.
Yeah, I don't get that, man. Why do they compare it to Dark Souls?
But
Because
this,
it's frustrating. No, anything
No,
that you
they-
die,
anything
anything that you
that's
could
tough.
die on,
Right.
and you get frustrated and you have to get better, they
Right.
call it the Dark Souls of platforms,
Right.
the Dark Souls of this. I mean, if,
Right.
if it's a resemblance, sure. But if
Yeah.
it's not, then don't call it that.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
well, the thing is,
The
there's
difficulty
There's
they're
different
talking about.
kinds of
This is
difficulty.
like Shockman.
Yeah. This isn't. I wouldn't say
the
this is.
Shockman of Xbox.
There's different kinds of difficulty. There's difficulty where they give you all these things that your character can do, and you have to learn those moves and get better as your bosses do certain things, and you use
Like
those
this.
things. And there's other games that are difficult, and you have to build up your character so you're stronger, like Dark Souls. But there's what was the name of the game? There's games where you build up your character and you still die to the same thing
Yes.
that you fucking were
Yes.
dying to
Yep.
when you were weak.
I agree.
It was that role-playing game. You know what I'm talking about. It was
Yeah.
like Record of Something Zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
Arlos or whatever.
Yeah, I was
Arcolad?
dying. Yeah, I built my people up mad far, and I was still dying to these corny slimes. I'm like, all right, this is the game's so
Because
pointless.
they grew with you. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, it
When
was-
they
it was-
scale with your build up, then it's not the
Yeah.
same.
yeah, it's stupid. What's the point? There's no,
Yeah. What's the point of leveling up if
Yeah.
you're gonna die?
So it's like
anyway?
there's technically two
Yeah.
kinds of hard games.
Well, actually, 3 because there's some games that are so glitchy that it makes it difficult to play. That'd be the third one. Where it's like, what was it that fucking glitched out so much? And it wasn't a hard game at all. It just glitched so much that I was just like, oh fuck.
Was
what
it
the-
Arkham Origins?
Yes.
for you?
Yes. No,
It
not
didn't glitch that much
because
for me.
you were playing it on a PS3. Oh no, not on PS3, on a fucking Xbox.
Yeah, 360.
360. I was playing it on a PS3
Uh-huh.
that came with my system
Uh-huh.
because I bought the super slim PS3.
Right.
Came with the system, so I'm like, oh, this is great. I got this game. I want to play it. Glitched so much, man. So many fucking glitches. I don't know what it is about the PS3.
it takes you out of the
They
thing.
they just didn't support it. Like they gave all the updates to fucking the 360, but the PS3 version got none of it. And I had game breaking fucking like shit. Like I got stuck on bosses. Couldn't like what the fuck, man?
Glitches you have no control over. It's just like it just happens and you're screwed.
Yeah.
Like
the guy in this still to get on how a reviewer or journalist should know how to play the game. He also got ridiculed. I mean, he's done a lot of.
This guy's
you
still
know,
on the same stage, by the
he's
way.
still on the same stage.
he hasn't gotten halfway.
But I mean, he's done a lot of write-ups. He's done a lot of write-ups and everything. So the last one he was on, it was when Mass Effect, one of the Mass Effects came out, and he hated it. He said there was something bad about it, whatever. He didn't know how to like scale up his. No, he didn't know how to scale up his character through the whole game. He just stayed up as the same guy. He didn't use any power to get anything better.
He should be banned
The whole time. And he's like, I hate it. This is that. This is unbalanced, blah, blah, blah. And then when somebody told him after he did the review, after he got ridiculed to death, they said, hey, listen, you can make your character better. And he said, oh, really? And then he went back and changed the score.
Wow.
So
he didn't even know how to play the game.
Yo, this guy should be banned. He should be banned. He sucks.
So you shouldn't be able to write reviews about games. I'm saying, if you don't know how to play it, don't write about it.
Because you're not writing the right shit.
He could be the best writer. He could be the best writer in the world. If you
you're not reflecting the core experience of the game. It's
if I'm gonna write about how a car is made or put together, I'm gonna write a whole article about it. But I can't change the oil. Like, how in depth is my review gonna be about this car's engine? Like, I don't even know what the spark plug is. And
idiots will be like, you just have to open the hood and do the thing. That's how you change your oil. You're like, oh shit, I got to change the review on this car now.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like you're misinterpreting the whole thing. Like,
you have to know about it.
What was that role-playing game that Jay played? He played it all the way to the end. It was made by former Final Fantasy developers.
Oh, that was in the Xbox 360.
And
you got it in the early. That was when it first launched.
Was it Odyssey?
It's
Lost
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
At the end of the game, Lost Odyssey. And at the end of the game, you realized how to play it.
Yeah, it was way better. I got to the last fight and I fought like 2 enemies. I was like, wait.
Don't you wish you didn't review that game?
Imagine if you reviewed this game. Sucks. Everybody's weak. Wait, I could have upgraded.
It would have done the game an injustice.
Well, they still had novels as the story that you had to read. It took like a 2-hour read. So nah.
What?
I still wouldn't have got a good rating.
Wait, like you had to read
literally like a novel.
Yeah, there was mad shit.
You pick up, how Resident Evil, you pick up the thing and you start reading.
Yeah.
And it's like a page maybe.
Yeah.
Or like half a page.
2 paragraphs.
I'm talking about whole screen.
No, there was a lot. And
flip the page.
The print was mad small.
Whole screen.
The print was small.
Flip the page. Whole screen. Literally, I read
Skyrim.
one. One. It took an hour. I read one. It took an hour just for one.
Why would you do that in the game?
And they said,
listen,
the story is great.
You wouldn't do that in a fucking movie. Why would you do that in the game? Imagine that. Imagine going to the movies. You pay money. You're sitting there in the theater. You're like, oh, all right, what's going on?
I don't even read the Star Wars
a big ass
shit.
thing of text. Like,
I don't even read the Star Wars shit.
If I wanted to,
it comes down the screen.
Yeah, it's like, get a book if you're gonna fucking like.
I read like the
wrong
last
medium.
sentence.
That's
like
what the
rebels,
novels are for.
It's the wrong medium.
And like,
like,
the rebels
why
are
would
ready. I'm like, oh, the rebels are ready. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
God, that's horrible.
That's hilarious.
That's horrible.
I mean,
it's a game.
Your average gamer doesn't want to read shit anyway, so
Yeah.
you're gonna put that much on there. He's gonna return the game.
They said
That's crazy.
They said the story was amazing. I had no idea what it was.
The lore.
You know why? Because they were too lazy to tell the story. They wanted you to read it.
Yeah.
And just do all the graphics and the battles and
God.
stuff, and they don't want to like tell the story.
Well, he would have known if he read the fuck. He would have figured it out if he
would
read
have
it.
been a much better game. But you know what? I wasn't reviewing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
therefore, it doesn't matter how I play it.
Anybody?
No, I'm
good.
I'm good.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But that's the thing, though. If I was to write about, say, if I was a wine taster,
Oh,
Anything.
right?
I thought you said
Anything.
a whiner.
If I'm a wine tester and I don't drink,
Right.
how am I going to write about your wine? Same thing.
The standards have gotten low. The bar has gotten low.
But this guy is not new in the game. He's not a new guy who got hired yesterday.
Bar's still low.
You know what?
Was it
This
always this low?
This reminds me of the. Oh my God.
Was it always this low, though?
I'm trying to remember this
No.
guy. He. This is. This is a movie critic. He's like. He's famous. I forget
For
his
writing
name.
bad shit.
But
He
yeah,
really
no,
does the opposite
he's
of
a contrarian. He's like the #1 contrarian. Like he if everybody loves a movie and it's the greatest movie ever made,
And he hates it.
he's the one that fucking he writes pages and pages of like in depth of why it sucks.
Which sucks for the
And
person
then, like-
writing it, because if you have like in Rotten Tomatoes, if you have
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
perfect movie,
Yeah, his
leave
shit,
it to him to fuck your whole rating up.
Yeah, he's
just because
all up-
he's gonna say it's bad for no
he's
reason. They
famous
shouldn't count
for that.
He's famous
That's
for fucking
I
shit
forgot
up.
what movie is his favorite. Like the worst
famous
movies.
hater.
Yeah, no, but he
Jingle All
likes
the Way.
he likes movies that you're just
Greatest
like,
movie
what
ever.
the fuck? What movie was it?
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Time.
Yes, he said that was a a cinematic masterpiece.
Last Action Hero is,
And-
that's pretty much a.
Dude,
Yo,
Cold
Yo.
the phrase.
yo, he said every bad movie you can think of,
Mm-hmm.
he's wrote like a fucking positive review, like
But you think that should
an
count?
amazing review, like
Like,
you're like
a
what?
blatantly bad review for a good movie. You think that should count? That's
No,
what's
it
fucked up.
shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't, but-
That's what's fucked up.
It's
You
gotta
know
be
that-
regulated somehow.
Like, you know that it's a bad review because
if
he
he's
knows
known
that it's
for
good.
yeah, if he knows
He's known for doing
And
it.
he's just there, and it counts as a Metacritic to bring your score down.
didn't it happen to Uncharted 4? Like there was like everyone, it was getting like great ratings, but everybody, and there was just
There's
one
always
person.
someone.
And it's just like
Yeah, there's always somebody,
this
and it's
dude's
usually
doing this for attention.
it's usually a
fucked
troll.
up.
Yeah, it's a troll.
Yeah.
Somebody trying to
If you're a known troll, you should be banned. You should just be blocked.
Well,
Yeah,
how
they
do
don't
you gauge that though?
It's
That's
someone
true. What
who
if he changed
says he
his
didn't
name?
like
How
it.
do you how do you
No,
gauge
it's just
that?
someone who said they didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah. Check what he talks about. What is he talking about? Why is he saying it's bad? It's like
Even
if they
still,
have
though,
valid
it's like-
points. It's like
How do you police that shit though? Like
That's
really,
true.
like there's so
Freedom
many
of the
things to review.
press. Freedom of the press.
You know,
He said
everybody's
this,
entitled
he
to
can
their
say-
opinion.
He can say the art is too fluid in here. I can't control the character.
Yeah,
That was the main complaint in like Flashback.
Damn.
It was
Too fluid.
It was too fluid. I
art is
couldn't
too
move.
fluid. I couldn't get the timing right.
Too many frames of animation.
what
It
a
threw me off.
moron.
Oh, I remember that game.
But no, I mean, what if they said that for this, and that's why it's so hard to them.
And you just suck at games. You don't know how to adjust to
No,
it.
the games, look, there are hard games out there. You know, they're made to be challenging, and
It would suck if all these games were easy.
yeah, you don't want you don't want to just walk through. You know, you want to have a sense of progression every time you play a game. But
Right.
you know, it's like Resident Evil 7's not an easy game either. You know, it's like you have to think on your feet, and
Listen,
you know, it's like
if it's a bad game
yeah,
and you can't beat it because it's bad,
mhm.
then I can give you a pass on maybe you want to review the game and say that it's bad. But you have to say
Superman
That-
64.
you have to say that the game is so bad that you can't clear it.
Yeah.
You just can't say a good game. I didn't make it through it, but I give it a 5. Like if it's possible to pass, especially games these days, it's just a
Right.
walkthrough anyway.
Right.
So don't tell me that you can't pass the game and then give me a review like you did,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
don't say that you didn't.
Yeah.
That's
hate
like
that.
that's why I watch what's his name, Angry Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll take a month.
He's so angry.
He'll take a month to review a game.
Mhm.
Why? Because he beats the fucking game
Yeah.
and he goes through it thoroughly. And his reviews, them shits aren't like 2-minute videos.
Plus,
Nah.
most games are online.
He does
now,
like
too.
he does like a 30-minute fucking in-depth review of the
Mhm.
of the game, like every part of it, from the fucking gameplay, the music, the fucking everything.
But what it is now, though,
And
It's
it's
a race.
so much better.
it's a race now because whoever comes out first gets all the hits.
Gets all the hits.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you can say, oh, I played this game, demo copy of it, and I played
Right.
the first 3 levels.
Right.
This is what I thought of it. Impressions perfect game, but not 9.
Right.
And then you think they
Right.
played this shit. And
Right.
It's not even out yet.
Right.
That's why when you go on things, there's reviews out before it's even out.
Yeah.
And you're like, user reviews are 9, but the
That's-
game came out an hour ago.
That's why review embargoes are very scary.
Yeah. I don't.
Those are red flags right away. I'm like, oh shit, they have an embargo?
It's
Why?
like
Why they do that shit?
Well, I put an embargo.
They want quick
so nothing
sales.
can come out.
They don't want the
Say
reviews.
if you came out with a game that's only playable online,
Mhm.
you have a reviewing embargo because you can't
So,
review it.
See, there you go. I don't even play those games.
What I'm
So
saying,
that's-
because you can't play those
don't like
games,
those games
until they're
anyway.
released to the world. Like
Yeah.
you can't play an embargoed game. Like if I play Destiny 2 online with 5 people who are reviewing it with me,
yeah, but they have they
That's
have
not
You
the
can't
same.
really review
but-
that mode. You
yeah, but
can't
they have
review it
betas
online.
for that shit though, don't
it's
they?
not. No, it's not. It's not
not-
polished.
it's
It's
not
not. They
the-
do a beta just so they can actually fix
Yeah,
it.
so they can see test the servers and they can see how
But
the
I
game
can't
plays.
come out with a review on a beta.
Not for that.
No, you can't.
Nah, hell no.
No, you can't.
But that's what I'm saying. If you have an embargo, then all these people can't come out and say
that's different
0,
though. That's
0, 5,
those
2.
are online only games, which I will never review because that's not my type of game.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever listen to me if I tell you this game is shit, because that's not my type of game. So,
Mhm.
but I'm talking about like everything else, but online. I'm talking about like an actual
But like I
game.
said, there are reasons why
Like-
they would have it, so people don't just put out a
Like
5 and a
Uncharted.
2 because it's not out yet.
Uncharted didn't have a review embargo. That's
No,
a great
I don't-
game.
No,
Uncharted
it
4.
is caution for red flag.
You know what I'm
yes, but
saying?
just I'm giving you a reason why they might have it on it.
No, yeah. For that, that's probably
there
the
are
only
bad games that they
that's
have.
probably the
embargo on, so
only
nobody can tell.
Bethesda now doesn't like they don't like their games getting reviewed before the game
Because they're
releases.
too large.
Yeah.
They're too big of a game. It's a 100-hour game. You can't review it in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't review it in 2 days.
You can't.
And it makes sense.
They
too.
do Evil Within 2, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Bethesda,
yes, they
yeah.
do. Yeah.
That looks good, by the way. I really like it. I hope it's not 22 chapters like the first one. That shit was too long.
It's gonna be longer.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stress.
37. What?
It's a lot of stress. My heart
40
can't-
40 chapters.
My heart can't take it.
The longest fucking
My heart
third-person
can't
game
take it.
ever.
And I haven't really seen much of the game, just so I don't want to ruin shit for myself.
No, that's good.
But I don't understand. Going back to the guy who reviewed the game, how do people like that get a job reviewing games or like?
Apparently since the 90s, man.
Well,
it
he-
always baffles
what
me.
did he
Like, how
re-
do they like get away? Like if you're around that long, you've been around for. A lot
I mean,
of,
obviously, this is his worst effort.
Well, what did he?
I'm pretty sure that he's had a decent run in the business.
Who did he work for?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I was gonna
He's
say what
gotta be
company did he work for? Like,
blowing
But the way that he was defending himself with the apology that he gave people, and it was
Right.
a fake apology because by the end of
Uh-oh.
it, he offended everyone. Yeah, and he
That's
was
a
calling
bad
people like-
apology.
that's an apology nowadays.
That's a
yeah,
bad
and then he got
apology.
political with it. I'm like, what is going on with this? You cannot get political about this at all. This is about you sucking at a game that you couldn't do hand-eye coordination at a 4-year-old, by the way.
Nah, man.
They have a video of a 4-year-old
Was able to do it.
passing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
That's
See,
why I'm
now-
like. That's
now-
why I'm like. You can't be that dumb.
That's the thing, though.
You can't.
It's
like
not his.
faster than him.
It's
though.
not his type of game.
But like the tutorial
4-year-old
told
game, he
you
just
what
learned
to
it.
do.
He
I
wasn't
know, but
reading. He was not reading.
There's people that just can't grasp it, though, man.
But he's a writer. You
Like-
can't
True.
read the words
He can't
behind
read
it.
and he's a writer. Yeah,
no, man.
it's a thin argument.
That's, he
They
can't
had
grasp,
arrows.
he can't grasp it.
There
like,
were
all right.
arrows.
If
And
you
it
were to
told
give,
you what to do.
let's say you gave the controller to your mom to play Cuphead for the first time.
She would get by that.
She said,
You
"Hey, I
think
can't
she
make
would?
My
my
mom would get by that
She
tutorial.
has the coordination to do that
The
shit.
tutorial?
I know my mom won't.
Tutorial, yes.
My
she
mom
would.
wouldn't do that shit.
She would have
She-
stopped before this guy and not made an ass
I
out of herself.
guarantee if you record my mom doing that same thing, she would finish that tutorial.
Oh,
before
shit.
Hold on, you think mom would be able to jump
Oh,
on that
shit.
lower platform and then
Yo,
jump
you know what?
and dash?
Yes.
I think you guys should stream that shit. Let me tell you. You need to record
We'll have to
that.
get moms down here and see if she can pass that
You
jump.
need to,
I
you
don't
need to
know.
get that
Mom,
shit on video.
I got faith. You can get that done.
You
She
got-
played Rambo for Sega Master System.
She did?
She got to the third stage. What's
What?
good? What's good?
Actually, my
there were
mom.
no jumps.
Yeah, right. My mom played what was it, Duck Hunt.
My mom
She
beat
was
Double
good at
Dragon
that.
2 with me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Damn.
And beat Contra because there was 30 lives.
But then my father played was it Punch Out? And he couldn't.
You could
Right,
be
go
glad.
down.
No,
Could be Glass Joe.
He couldn't grasp it. He could not grasp it. And he loves boxing. And he was like, "Oh," he was watching me play it, and he's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's
Glass
Punch Out."
Joe.
He's like, I gave him the controller. He's like, "Let me try." He's like, "How do you play?" I'm like, "That's the B button is a right hand, A
Left
button's a
hand.
left hand, whatever, blah blah blah."
Wrong button.
He's like, "All right." Boom, down. I'm like,
Glass Joe, though, the second guy, I understand.
first
The German
guy,
dude, he goes like this.
he just
yeah,
couldn't-
I understand.
he
That-
couldn't grasp it, and then after like 2 times he got knocked out. He just gave me. He's like, "Oh, this is stupid," and then he left. And I was like, "Wow."
That third button throws people off.
Oh,
Only 2
my
buttons.
God.
Crazy.
He was like, "Nah, this is stupid."
That's the easiest thing in the world.
Glass
That's
Joe,
Glass
wow.
But-
Joe.
Some people just can't grasp certain.
I
But
guess-
your dad ain't no journalist for video games.
No, he's not. No, he's
That's
not.
true.
That's why I asked before. What type of fucking
How do you
games?
get the job?
If that's not the type of game that he likes,
What do
that
you
he's
get?
into,
What's
what
in
game
the
is he
interview?
into? He
What's
has
in the interview? You have to say, "Do you like games?" Yeah, I like games. All right, you got to show me. Oh, what? Huh?
But he has to be into something, man.
Look at my
Text-based
magazine.
games like
I would
fucking
like to. I would like.
turn-based fucking like what is
Date
it? What-
simulators.
I
Date
want to
simulators.
hear what his
Anything.
favorite game is. What is his favorite?
That's
game?
what I'm saying.
I want to
like,
hear it. What is his
I'm
favorite
curious
game?
to know what
would love to
type
see
of
it.
game is he?
Old
He has to be.
RPGs. He likes
Old Sierra
turn-based,
games.
turn-based RPGs.
That's my only thing. He
Fucking-
must only play RPGs and strategy
Yes.
RPGs because
No,
platformers
he
and
plays
shooters.
text adventures.
Real time, yeah,
That's it.
real time strategies where you just sit there.
Tetris, Tetris, Puzzle Fighter.
No, you need coordination for Tetris.
You do? No,
Yes.
it's like that's Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Text adventure games.
Text adventure where nothing is
Yes.
coming after you.
Yes.
And
Choose.
you can just read it. Maybe
Yeah.
not though, because he can't.
He doesn't
read.
read. He doesn't read though. So
Telltale games.
Telltale
Yes.
games.
He's really
Yes.
good at those. He mastered
Any
them.
game you can just watch. Any game you can sit down and watch.
What the fuck, man?
Narrative stories, interactive story games.
Yeah.
So
Monopoly, the game, the video game.
probably terrible at that.
Wheel of Fortune, the video game.
Wheel of Fortune.
So in conclusion, I think that we've all come to the same thing that
Mhm.
a journalist of a gaming industry should be able to play a game.
Yes.
At the very
game,
least,
the game
beat
that
it.
he's writing about, he should be able to know the control scheme and
Yes.
how to actually progress in it, at least a little bit.
At the
Mhm.
very
To
least,
talk
beat,
about it. How
beat
can you
the
write
game.
about it and not know how to control it?
And
Yeah.
be a gamer, man.
or just beat the
You
game.
can't just be
At the
Imagine-
very least.
Imagine if he did write an article about that. Just
No, but
what? Oh, it was horrible. The controls were terrible. I couldn't even jump over this meaningless tutorial.
but do you
Like,
think?
what could
Do you
you-
think
You
he-
have to know when
All
you
right,
suck.
look. If
How
somebody,
would that be beneficial to anyone?
if somebody that shitty at games,
Mhm.
do you really think he beat that fucking game?
Well, think
Hell
about it.
no.
All right,
Hell
here's
no.
a perfect
Of
example.
course. So
Perfect example.
But don't post it. Don't
Perfect-
post that.
Perfect example. Shout out to Mikey B's.
oh, I was gonna say that shit.
I always
didn't
be
want to do
getting
that.
on Mikey B's.
I didn't want to say
for
nothing.
sucking in games, but even Mikey B's can get through that tutorial in like
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah, he would.
All right,
Yeah,
even
he's
though
not
you,
that bad.
even though he ran through
Just can't watch him
Batman
play anything
Arkham
else.
City and shit all over it.
and Shadow of Mordor.
But he's not bad in Overcooked.
And
though,
Shadow
right?
Mordor.
No, he's pretty good in
actually
Overcooked.
No, he's pretty
Yeah,
good in
yeah.
Overcooked.
Yeah, Mikey's not horrendous across the
No,
board.
no.
You know, he's just
No.
can't really.
But
get
that.
down
But
on
here's the thing,
Batman.
though. He's more into sports games.
Does he really?
Yeah, he said he's like I always played sports games.
I
I don't know.
First,
I've never seen it.
first
That's what
person,
he said.
He likes Bioshock and
You like Bioshock?
Yeah.
He does like
He
He
it.
did
made
beat
it-
him. He did beat him.
He
Yeah,
made it
so
look really bad.
And Dishonored 2, which he looked terrible in also, but he beat that also. To
Like I
his
said,
credit.
you
did?
put in the time with any
You
game
put in the
made this
time.
day, you can probably get through.
He
that's why I
learned
say
to play
at the
game.
very least.
Not if they started you at the beginning.
At the very least, I
Won't
don't
happen.
care if you're good or bad. Like if you're bad at games, if you're reviewing it, at the very least, beat the game.
Mhm.
At least complete it.
Well, you got
You know?
sometimes some of these journalists are going to these game shows and they only have like they're being displayed for the first time
Mhm.
and they want to write about it and stuff like that. So they might not even have the time.
Oh, you could have been like me when I was playing Final Fantasy. After
Nah, I
putting
don't-
100 hours into that game, I looked like a scrub
Or
playing that.
Speaking
'cause I
like
forgot how
Final
to play.
Fantasy, or like me at Comic-Con playing Dissidia.
yeah.
Like I
It's
didn't
like
know.
a terrible gamer.
No, this
It
but-
looks awesome, but I can't review
However-
it because I don't know how to play it.
No, to your defense, there was no tutorial for Dissidia,
Ah.
and you just thrown in there, and everyone, including you, who was playing, is like, this looks great, but what the hell is going on?
Right.
Nobody knew what was going on. There's no tutorial.
Right.
But if there's a fucking tutorial, and you can't
Mhm.
do the tutorial, you can't get. It's a side-scrolling 2D game,
Right.
and there's 3 buttons you're using.
hmm
How tough can it be? Jump and dash. Why are you stuck in a tutorial?
It's very straightforward.
It's
If you're
embarrassing.
stuck in any tutorial in any game, you should stop playing the game completely, or just stop playing games.
can't-
Question life. Let me say.
Maybe I shouldn't be a fucking journalist for video games.
yeah.
A tutorial is supposed to be the easiest part and teach you how to do something.
Yes.
If you
Shoot.
can't
It's supposed
learn
to walk
it,
you through it.
then that's like you're gonna have to implement that during harsh times in the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not gonna be an easy step here and jump here, and we'll wait for you.
Nope.
No, that's why 100 bullets are coming at you. You got to do this stuff. So just don't play it
I
at that moment, especially after showing us what he did during the stages. Just stop.
stage.
There's no reason. There's no reason why that was a 26 minute.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
just-
reason why that was over 20 minutes.
That was
Yeah.
stage 1.
Yeah,
Stage 1.
I couldn't even
that
stream
could be the
something like
longest.
that.
That could be the
feel bad
longest
to
game
stream
of all
it.
time. That could be the longest game of all time. If you didn't get past this,
He's like,
half the first.
I didn't
stage-
like Cuphead.
And you know
It's
what?
like over 50 hours of gameplay.
If I was
What are you
a
talking about 50 hours of gameplay?
and if I was a company that like hired him, I'd be like, "You're fired. That's it.
Yeah, it's like-
you're
I'd
fucking
be like,
fired."
you
and I
will
go to
not
the
have
next
anything to
person.
do with this.
Yeah.
You will have
Exactly.
nothing to do with this
Yes.
game. Move along.
Yo, I've died many times in various games. All of us have on our streams, but nothing to the level of what the fuck I
No,
watched.
no.
If I gave my
Nothing.
dog, listen, I'm gonna end it on this. Otherwise, we can talk about it all day. If I gave my dog the controller, he could have gotten further than him.
Damn.
My
Just
dog.
hitting one button.
If I put his paw on the right part of the analog, he could have just made it further than him because he was just catching everyone, and he just would have kept running.
Yeah.
This dude caught every enemy that landed and ran into him.
He got hit by everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone that came on the screen.
He's like, oh shit, should I eat him?
He thought
No.
the point of the game was to run in front of the bullets.
It's not Pac-Man. It's not
Touch everyone.
Pac-Man. Was that a pellet? No, you don't eat the pellet.
You don't touch everything.
bullet.
You don't touch
I
everything.
thought it was Bullet Man.
It's a
Yeah.
bullet.
He made the game look way harder than it is. You know, it's not.
It's a hard game.
It's
Don't
challenging
get me
game.
wrong.
The boss is where the difficulty is. The bosses are fucking nightmares, but Jesus Christ, get
I don't
the
run
stage.
into them constantly.
Yeah, you don't walk. You know, there's no problem. Like, damn, I need to stop walking into these enemies.
Really
No.
quickly, I wanted to say I remember. Oh shit! I watched this video on Mario Brothers 1 for the NES.
Super
And
Mario Brothers or just
Sup-
Mario Brothers?
Mario or Super Mario?
Super Mario Brothers 1.
With
For the
AI.
NES.
The AI you're talking about.
No, because we were talking about tutorials and how intuitive it is.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. They teach you.
That shit was like they were having other developers like for other companies and shit talking about the genius of the first stage.
It's a
When
tutorial,
you
but it doesn't tell you.
it doesn't tell you what to do, but the way it's designed is designed for you to like you can't
they
go
said,
back.
the
You
first
can't
enemy-
move back.
the first
So the
enemy
only
is
way you
coming.
can move is forward.
You have to jump over.
The
'em.
enemy is right there. So obviously, if you keep walking into
gonna
him,
kill
you're
him.
gonna
You're gonna
die. So then you know, okay, I have to do something about that. So the next time you move forward, oh, there's another button. Jump. It never tells you to jump or what
Just-
button is what to do.
Yeah.
You figure it out, and it's basically a tutorial. It's genius. It's like the way it was designed was to show you how to play,
Yeah.
and
That's true.
it
It's like
did
that
it
Mega Man
intuitively.
video.
It's like
It's
that.
2 buttons.
And it's 2 buttons.
Jump and shoot with the
Yeah.
fire.
And these fucking kids couldn't do that shit.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck?
Because everything's hand.
What is it?
everything's
8-1
handed to
or
them.
is it 7-1 or what is it? When you have to jump on that little platform?
Oh my god.
That-
8-1.
I would like.
A1.
I would like
I
them
hate
to
that shit.
film millennials just trying to get past that.
Oh my god.
Just that stage. I
It'll
would love
be-
to see it.
Well, they had Arya Stark.
It'll be-
She was playing, I think,
Yes.
some 8-bit games and stuff.
That's
like
the
that.
video I'm talking
People
about.
killed- really?
That's the video I'm
That shit was
talking
dying
about.
everywhere, right?
That ain't Arya, man.
She-
She looks like her.
She's Arya. All right, she's Arya than me. All right.
I know what you're talking about.
But that's the video I'm
freaking
talking about, though.
BuzzFeed shit.
Guys,
No, they like Contra, like Mario Brothers, Zelda 2, even Zelda 2. Like
They'll get murdered.
they will be like, this is y'all
Everything's-
played this.
it'll be-
Bionic Commando. Could you imagine if they played Bionic Commando? You kidding me?
It'll be the Dark Souls of Bionic
Yeah,
Commando.
the Dark Souls.
damn it, man.
Bionic Commando is a tough game. It's a tough game.
the Dark Souls.
You put anybody nowadays, today's generation, playing
Yeah.
Bionic Commando. No,
That'll be awesome. Try and swing.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
One bullet.
The timing on swinging on
wait.
the small little
They didn't
things
say
you gotta-
Battletoads. Like, why are they
So
saying
I was
gonna
Dark
say-
Souls?
I was gonna
Battletoads
say
didn't
Dark
have the best
Souls.
control.
Dark Souls is the
It really
Battletoads of. Let me say that.
Yeah, the Battletoads. Dark Souls is the Battletoads of Dark Souls.
Battletoads.
wait, wait. It's like, wait, I'm lost.
Battletoads is the Dark Souls of Dark. What?
There you go.
All right. Well,
That's hilarious. Well, on that note, thank you for watching and listening to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast.
I'm sorry.
shut up, man.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast.com. Any Android podcasting app that you happen to have, look up Level 857. You're going to
Live on
find us
Twitch.
on there. We're also live on Twitch
Yep.
every other Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. So check that out. We got videos on our Level 857 Video Game Entertainment channel on YouTube every other day. So make sure you check that out every other day.
Every day.
So you don't want to miss a beat on that. Follow us on all of our stuff.
Stop yelling. Damn.
All of our stuff.
Yeah.
All of our social media, follow us because you never know what we're going to be popping up on there.
Word.
And we're going to see you guys again real soon.
That's right.
Peace.
Don't forget to comment, y'all. Subscribe.
Yeah, like and comment. Let us know what you think.